I'm delighted to bring you time of confessions, conversations, deliberations, and solutions. I'm so happy that you joined us. My name is Miss Nancy, and I am your host for tonight. A young lady came in, married. She went into the marriage with an 18-year-old child, young woman, I would say, and that child has cost her a lot. She cost her her marriage, she cost her her peace, and right now the man she loved is rotting in jail, even though he has done not what they accused him of, but other things. This is a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm glad that you've joined us. When I come back, we commence it. I hope that you have something to say. If you're joining us through social media, I'm delighted to have you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Confessions is on. Whatever your opinions are, share it with us. Maybe somebody will learn from it. She is a woman who has a child before her marriage. And she says that something happened in her home for which she needs to confess. Something really bad was done to her child, and she couldn't forgive, and she had to equally do bad to her partner. It is her confession. My lips are sealed, my ears are wide opened to listen to her. Let us take her confession. You are welcome to Confessions on TV3, my lady.
Thank you, Miss Nancy.
What is your name?
My name is Gloria.
Glow, I would want to call you.
Thank you.
Beautiful lady. So, what did you do that you want to confess? Take us through the story.
Miss Nancy, I went into marriage with my 18-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Before marriage, my husband and I decided to have our daughter stay with us.
Okay.
He buys my daughter gifts, gives her money, takes her out.
Of course.
He does everything a father would do.
Love
for
me,
her
love my daughter.
Miss Nancy, just name it. My daughter saw that father figure in my husband.
Of course.
One day we had to change my daughter's phone for her. And after changing it, I decided to go through my daughter's phone. And Miss Nancy, what I saw is nothing to write home about. I saw the chat between my husband and my daughter. How that my husband has had 2 abortions with my daughter.
Your husband
Miss Nancy
has had 2 abortions with your
several.
18-year-old.
And how that he had threesome with my daughter and
He
her
had
friend.
what?
Threesome, Miss Nancy.
So she's sleeping with your husband and brings in her friend to come and satisfy her stepdad.
You're right.
Wow.
Miss Nancy, I saw the chats between my husband and daughter where my husband was telling my daughter that she is the best thing that could ever happen to him.
No, of course. How old is he?
My husband is 47 years.
47 years. And of course, an 18-year-old girl would be the best thing that ever happened to
You
him.
can imagine.
For a wicked man.
I don't know what got into my daughter. I don't even know if it was my husband that manipulated my daughter or if it was my daughter that threw herself to my husband. I don't even know.
And you will never know.
So after reading all these messages, I confronted my daughter.
You did.
Yeah. And I saw that my daughter was really sorry.
Yes.
And so I connived with my daughter. And so we decided to make the case as a rape case. We reported it to the police as a rape case. And so my husband was arrested and jailed. As I'm speaking to you now, Miss Nancy, my husband has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. And as I speak, he has already spent 2 years in jail. Miss Nancy, I can't live with the guilt any longer. I don't even know what to do.
Okay, the guilt of lying about the fact that it was not a mutual relationship and that it was a rape case.
Sure. I feel that my husband should not have done that to me and to my daughter.
A child that calls you father
Father.
or daddy, how were they calling each other on the phone? Like sweet or darling or daddy?
My daughter would call my husband daddy and my husband would respond Madipa.
Hey!
Madipa.
And how did he call you?
Darling.
So
Or Beauty.
your daughter is Madepa and you are Beauty and Darling.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Why are you coming out now?
Miss Nance, I can't live with that guilt anymore.
Are you still in love with your husband?
I think so. Probably.
Have you been visiting him?
I tried doing that once, but I couldn't. Anytime I try doing so, I just get back the memory of my husband doing that to my daughter, and it puts me off, Miss Nancy.
And how is your daughter coping?
She's fine, I guess.
Has she had any therapy? Has she been healed? How is she getting on with her
Yeah.
teenage life?
Fortunately enough, my sister is a nurse, so I sent her to my sister to take her through some psychiatric counseling or whatever.
Yeah. But is your sister also married?
She is.
I mean, just watching out for your sister's husband too.
Right, you're right. But I believe my daughter has learned her lessons.
We pray she has learned her lessons. 18-year-old girl sleeping with her mother's husband, inviting her friends over to have threesomes with her mother's husband, a man who is supposed to be her stepfather, a man who is supposed to be a father figure in her life. This woman says, I am hurt that my husband cheated on me, not with any woman, but my own daughter, and I will punish him. She sent him to jail 10 years. 2 years down the line, she is sorry. She brought her confession, and this is some confession, and I do not even know. Right now, I need the opinions of my studio audience and my wonderful counselor to help us, help this woman and even her child. How does she undo what she has done already? This is Confessions on TV3, and I'll be right back. You are welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3. You just listened to her confession from the confession booth. I told you that I am without judgment. I only listen with an open ear and my lips are sealed. This is what a woman that loved a man was able to do to a man she loves, because that man hurt a part of her being, her only child. And for that, she has paid him a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Yes, he's been punished beyond what the laws of the land says. Because, yes, he had sexual intimacies with his stepdaughter, but that was not a rape. They lied that it was a rape. We are in the studio, and my wonderful ladies and gentlemen, they are here, and oh my God, I see tears already. Clark, I see you crying already.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all, because this is pure advice, and all men, all fathers are supposed to be very, very careful and wise.
Yeah.
Because I am not there, but I think maybe the young girl, knowing that the father is a caring father, maybe the man might have enough money. He showered the girl with a lot of,
Yes, that's what the mother said.
And like, maybe this girl threw herself, show her, but sometimes they have ways and means of luring you.
I mean, from what the mother said, the girl at a point even brought in her friend to have a threesome.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she does that outside. She does that outside, and she
So
thinks
you
maybe...
cry for men.
Yes, I'm in pain, because for the man to go to jail in this particular time, maybe his businesses, his life, the kind of, the things he has built for himself, all that reputation is gone down the drain because of maybe sex. So men should be very, very careful and wise.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good one. And Clark cries for all men, for your weaknesses, for the things you're unable to manage that can land you beyond your life, ruin your name, your reputation, your life. I mean, 10 years in prison, when you come back, what would you still have? Was there any other person that has something to say?
Yeah, Miss Nancy, I'm Harry.
Yes, Harry.
My problem is with the lady. You are punishing the man. What about your daughter? You see, you think your daughter, didn't do anything wrong. Because you think that when you saw the messages and everything on the phone, you questioned her and then she told you, oh, this is what happened. So you believe your daughter. She doesn't see anything wrong with what their daughter did. And she's, punishing the man instead of the daughter.
So you feel that the daughter should have been punished equally?
Exactly.
An 18-year-old girl who saw in him a father figure?
No. The problem might not be coming from the man, as we say.
It could be the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to talk about the characteristics of 18-year-old girls in our time and age?
Ms. Nancy, I'll speak on that forte. Of course, my name is Claudio. So in this near and age of TikTok, of social media, women, young ladies who are in senior high school, first of all, they want that less of parental guidance. That's why they love school. Socialization with friends will teach them, this is what my father is doing, this is what my uncle is doing, this is what my sugar daddy is doing. So you have this perception of this is how life should be. They're pouting their lips, they're shaking their bums, putting it on social media and the likes.
Twerking on social media alone.
One question I wanted to ask the mother of the lady is, did she have the lady when she was like, the girl as she was like 16 or something? Because I said, you know, how do you put two female chickens in a cockerel's way?
So the mom and the young girl are looking almost similar.
You see the nature of your wife in the younger version.
Yeah.
Wifey knew her, but the
younger version.
One,
and you feel that a man should find a woman that looks like his woman.
Oh, no, but I said there are several factors leading
that
to that. It can be that a young girl, like Clark is saying, more like the personality, the way she was handling himself, maybe had seduced the man. It went on, and you know,
This is how we start the conversation. The studio audience have done great, but as we do, we need a counselor with me on the couch so that we look at this very, very critically. And who else to have this conversation with than Counselor Edumata? People, let us show him love. Thank you.
Thank you, greetings.
All people saw him, some love. Counselor Edumata is more than a counselor on television.
Yes, ma'am.
He's into marketing.
Yes.
He's into grooming.
Yes, right.
What else?
Oh, Fadika can't wait.
Indeed, it's great to have you on the show.
It is good to be here, Miss Nancy.
Yes, Thank you very much, Counselor, for honoring our invitation once more.
Thank you so much.
The confession tonight, it is somebody's life, somebody's destiny that is going down the drain. Not because he didn't do any bad. No. He did some bad, but really not that bad. Counselor, let's look at the confession.
Miss Nancy, I went into marriage with my 18-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Before marriage, my husband and I decided to have our daughter stay with us.
Okay.
He buys my daughter gifts, gives her money, takes her out.
Of course.
He does everything a father would do.
Love
for
me,
her
love my daughter.
Miss Nancy, just name it. One day we had to change my daughter's phone for her. And after changing it, I decided to go through my daughter's phone. And Miss Nancy, what I saw is nothing to write home about. I saw the chat between my husband and my daughter. How that my husband has had 2 abortions with my daughter.
Your husband
Miss Nancy
has had 2 abortions with your
several.
18-year-old.
And how that he had threesome with my daughter and
He
her
had
friend.
what?
Threesome, Miss Nancy.
So she's sleeping with your husband and brings in her friend to come and satisfy her stepdad.
You're right. Wow. Miss Nancy, I saw the chats between my husband and daughter where my husband was telling my daughter that she is the best thing that could ever happen to him.
No, of course. How old is he?
My husband is 47 years.
47 years. And of course, an 18-year-old girl would be the best thing that ever happened to
You
him.
can imagine.
For a wicked man.
So after reading all these messages, I confronted my daughter.
You did.
Yeah. And I saw that my daughter was really sorry.
Yes.
And so I connived with my daughter. And so we decided to make the case as a rape case. We reported it to the police as a rape case. And so my husband was arrested
Okay.
and jailed. As I'm speaking to you now, Miss Nancy, my husband has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. And as
Okay.
I speak, he has already spent 2 years in jail. Miss Nancy, I can't live with the guilt any longer. I don't even know what to do.
Okay, the guilt of lying about the fact that it was not a mutual relationship and that it was a rape case.
Sure.
That is the confession. The man is in jail
Yes.
for 10 good years. He already has spent 2 years. And she says she cannot take it any longer. She needs to come out. Because yes, the man had sexual intercourses with her daughter, but it wasn't rape. It was consensual. They were actually in a relationship. And the girl was easy, adventurous, open-minded enough to bring her friend also into the relationship, to an extent that they have been having threesomes, 3 human beings having sex. 2 18-year-olds attending to a 47-year-old man.
Miss Nancy,
Sir,
nobody should rejoice over this confession. But rather we should sit and take a stock of our lives. And then we keep asking questions as to do we live today or tomorrow? Because every action I take today, there is a tomorrow awaiting. Today you could look at it as, oh, it's so sweet, so good, and I want it. But are you ready to succumb to the tomorrow consequences? This is the picture we are getting. Right from the beginning, there was a missing link.
there was.
The missing link was that the mother, when you realized that your daughter was having that sort of relationship with her husband, what was your action?
She confronted the child.
You confronted the child, but did you let the child get to know that this act is wrong? And who is behind you as a mother that you can make a reference sort of call so that you can actually go in and have a discussion with that daughter of yours?
So you mean that there should be another person beyond the mother?
Yes.
That the girl reverences?
Exactly.
That would help her
Good.
straighten her up.
Fantastic. Then you realize that you're not alone in this issue, but there is somebody I look up to who had gotten to know of my act that is not good. The mother
Where
didn't do
is the child's father in the first place?
Great question. It could be that the father left them. She has been the only mother who took care of her. So this woman is embittered. This woman has swallowed a lot of pain. She is in pain. So coming into this new marriage, that this man wholeheartedly has accepted my daughter. If you love me, love my dog. Then why wouldn't I do anything? There was no explanation as to why this daughter is coming. And what was it that even you, the mother, you were telling the daughter of the real father? And now you are coming into a new premises. What should be the introductory language? And then you realize that they are having some kind of a amorous relationship. When you got to know, what are you supposed to do? You didn't do all that because you think it's your own.
She was hurt.
She was hurt.
She was disappointed
I
in
don't
the
want it to
external
go
one.
exactly.
And it's very easy for
I
us
don't
to
want
point
the whole world
fingers
to know
out.
that the real crime is in my own
Own
home.
home.
So the mother was playing a mother role of protecting children.
Her child.
That was good enough. Every mother would do that.
Yes.
It
But
is not like as somebody who is outside that I can yell. It is your own husband you call. What a shame. So let me protect it.
But at what expense? At the expense of the destiny and the life of another man?
That is the other side of the story. Now you sitting down and conniving with your daughter, you are authenticating the action of your daughter. Because you are brand
That's
plan.
why, but or no mum
Do you know what you've done? A mother. You did not query, you did not question the daughter. You are rather condoning and say that, look, young cassette will repeat. Young cassette was molested one as your baby. What are you trying to defend?
Very, very sad. But, counselor,
Yes, ma'am.
let's talk about women who are going into marriages, especially with girl children,
Hi.
especially those at the teenage age.
Yes.
Should they be careful? Should they be aware? Or it's an unhealthy mindset for you to assume that my partner could do something with my daughter or my daughter could do something with my husband, so I have to be careful and be watching them all the time.
You need to have this thought in your mind. Because what the eyes of a man sees, it dares to act. And as a woman, you should know. Remember, you were in that stage before, and when you were there, what was the reaction of men towards you?
So at the point of teenage, it's ideal if the child's father is available for her to go live with her own father instead of a stepfather.
Very important, because anything can happen, and that is the biggest weakness of every man. All right? So right from the word go, you, this mother, should have told your daughter, have a meeting, the daughter and the new father,
Yes.
that this is your daughter. Let her know, let us understand that we are a family.
A family.
Then you pull your daughter aside. Hey, or your papa, but what to tell?
Yes.
Anything that goes on, please let me know.
Yes.
Oh, you are now growing. So you need to now create a certain platform that you are my sister. You are my co-equal. You are the one I'm reasoning with. You know where we are coming from is bad.
So
this is the time we are trying to create a new world for ourselves. So listen to me. Don't shout. Because the moment you do that, you are rather warding off your authority over the child.
Yes.
This woman didn't do that. And now what happened? The woman saw it and said, okay, or the man saw it, and then, okay, I will shower you with gift. I will show you I'm a father. Madipabi. You think it's okay?
Imagine?
No. The mom should have questioned it. Condoned, kept quiet, and the thing got to a certain level. Now, when you saw those text messages, what were you supposed to have done?
That was immediately when she confronted her child.
Yes, but then to what extent?
Apparently, the man offered a new phone to the child and trying to play his wife, gave the phone to the wife to change the child's phone. So let me change my daughter's phone. Hey, her daddy bought her a new phone. And after she changed it, she went through the messages, and that is where the shock began. Let us talk about managing the telephones, the tablets, and all the appliances that sends our children into communication.
You see, when you give that phone to the child, you are no more in control. You were in control of the giving, but you're not in control of the usage.
Yeah.
We need to be very careful. And you are not going to, as it were, intrude anytime you want, because the child will say, it's mine.
My privacy.
My privacy. So you need to be able to educate on that basis. If you are using phone, this is what could happen. If you do this Snapchat and you do this selfie thing, tomorrow it could ruin your life. So take care of this very thing. It could be good and bad weapon.
Yes.
But let's activate the good side. Use it to study, and I want to see you studying through the phone.
Yeah.
But don't do it. So it's all about you communicating, you
And
liaising and
managing.
managing the girl to know that, look, this thing can harm you, this thing can destroy you. So you need to be able to manage it well. Don't be too excited of a phone. Now, it has become a cliche that if I have a phone, I have the world in my hands.
I mean, it's amazing when mothers even say, my child is addicted to their phone.
Don't
when they
say
have
that.
their phones, their tablets, they don't talk, they don't watch anything, they're always on their phones.
To my surprise, I was passing through two ladies, young girls, with the same age. Do you know the page they were looking at?
Tell me.
Oh, a blue page. What is
Young
a blue
girls.
page? You understand? Yes.
When we were younger, it was just the boys that were watching the
Even
blue pages.
Taking a magazine and looking at it, you had to hide.
And it was
when you're
just the
caught-
boys. We the girls. Which girl went to look at blue films in our time and age?
No. But here they are. So mom is not checking. Mom is pleasing. And my daughter is busy with the phone. No. We need to now set up as parents. I bought the phone for you, but hey, I have the right to infiltrate. I have the right to know.
Your password.
Who and where are you going? What site are you visiting? We should be able to know.
You need to monitor your own child, know what they are doing on social media, with their phones, in their interactions with your friends, and even your own family. It is essential. This is Confessions on TV3. I will be back, and when we do, hey, studio audience, I will be interacting with you. Admira. You are welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3, and I'm excited. The conversation continues. In fact, whilst we were off air, we had started. You had a question, didn't you?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nancy. And thank you, Mr. Counselor.
Yes,
that was a very wonderful submission, and I really loved it. And I'm Clark, it was very emotional. And I would like to find out something very important. It's almost like his line of conversation or submission was to the woman. But looking at the other angle, because men or fathers, let's say generally men, have this mindset that that is our weak spot, don't you think because of that we are derailing from the defense mechanisms that we are supposed to put up? Yeah. And in this situation, what do you think is the defense mechanism that the man should have put up? I believe one way is communication, communicating to the mother about the changes and then the acts of the daughter in this situation.
Excellent.
Beautiful question.
Excellent question.
Defense mechanisms. As a man, you find yourself in a home with a child who is not your biological one. A teenager, her breasts are standing, the curves are coming out. She is nice and lively. From the things you know she watches and how she dresses, you know that her mind's eye has been opened already. Right. How do you desist from touching this child?
The first point is, Miss Nancy, Obano, Kaninenkasa, quickly send a signal of disapproval. That I don't like the way you are just letting the lady dress and be walking around this way. That is your first call. And then you sort of ought to talk to the woman. That look, the girl is not a more girl.
A child.
But I don't like some few looks around. Reject what you see. That should be your first thing. A man who says that, I don't mind, I could also take it. That's your first stance of succumbing to ills. And so the moment you embrace it, hey, be careful. When the language swings that way, it means that the man is interested.
Yes.
And that is why the mother, you ought to be there and question.
Can a man insist that, hey, your daughter is becoming a woman?
Yes.
I think this is too much of a threat for me. Can you take her out of our house?
And not necessarily taking her out of her house, but let's go get a place, be with somebody, because the scene of it, it could be temptatious. And I need to be able to manage myself.
As typical women, Ghanaians, how would your woman take it?
Well, that's a great question. On your benti, it's because it does not belong to you. Oh, sir. Okay, now someone's also permit. But you see, we need to listen to the tomorrow aspect of what will happen.
So sometimes the stepfathers and even mothers reject these children, not because they do not love them, because of the threats they pose.
Exactly. Perfectly so, Miss Nancy. That is an intelligent point.
Goodness.
Yes. Miss Nancy, I want to ask our lady.
Yes.
What brought about the separation of the girl's father?
My lady.
Miss Nancy.
Where is your baby daddy?
Miss Nancy, unfortunately, he died before I gave birth to my daughter.
Oh.
Now I understand.
Oh.
Now I understand. So you saw this man as a replica.
Sure.
Yeah.
A defensive one.
I found a
the
man.
one that can lift me up. So that
found
all my woes
will go away.
Will go away. Now, is that the reason why you were so silent as to how your husband was reacting to your daughter?
Or probably it's just naivete.
Good.
There are people who see no evil nor think no evil. Even if it's under their eyes, their spirit cannot accept that this could be a red card. I should be careful.
Yes.
But for mothers that may be watching us tonight, you know that you need to not just look.
No.
You need to stare and deeper to see. Let us talk about presenting our young women. It looks like parenting has gone haywire these days. Parents would find a daughter. Last week I was on a domestic flight, and when we got off, I saw about a 13-year-old girl who had a body almost like mine, wearing some skimpy little thing with her mother. From her voice, you could see that she's just a little child. But when you see her body, it's almost like an adult. Women with children with such physiques, how do you help your child put herself together in a childish, healthy, exciting way for a young woman without being attractive or calling for unhealthy attention?
Miss Nancy, when it happens like that, then there is a missing link as to discipline. The woman in question had not understood what discipline means. How can I walk with my daughter, and my daughter is more or less virtually naked?
Summer, I mean, from their looks, it looks like they traveled and came in for a vacation. So summer, so
Fine,
everywhere in the world,
wear,
people wear skimpy things. So she's in Ghana, summering.
That is where we have a problem. In wherever you are coming from, you can do that. But here, it's totally different. So what are you trying to let the child get to know? You see, we need to get this discipline right. And your baby and your cocoa center, and your baby and your cocoa royal home, and your home. If you're going to go to me in the village, please dress ye.
I mean, from a woman and a mother's point of view, I was like, hey, you
see?
Even I noticed, can you imagine all the other men on the flight?
Yes.
And if she's living with a man who is not her father,
yes,
he would equally notice.
So it means you're condoning. Oh, I like your shorts. And Kabida. As a mother, when the thing is not right, don't authenticate it. The moment you do that, you are giving authority to the child to do it. Okay? Even the way you talk, you cut in through to people in public. You mother, you must be there to educate them. So don't just say, oh, it's my daughter, we just came down.
When we come back from this break, which I need to take, we'll look at why the woman lied. Why is she coming out now after 2 years of this man being in prison? Why? We'll be right back. You are welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3. As much as we listen to the confessions, we bring it home to our everyday lives and make the confessions relevant to your life too. I am glad that I am your hostess and I'm bringing you such beautiful education on television. Hey, let us go to the streets and listen to what they had to say to the man who is in jail for what he really hasn't done, even though he's wrong, and to the woman who sent her husband to jail for touching her child. Is it out of revenge? Is it out of revenge for a hurt lover, or out of revenge for a mother whose daughter has been defiled? Let us go to the streets.
If I were to be the wife, I would first report my husband to the police, but not to lie to them. Because I came to find out he's sleeping with my daughter. So there's no need for me to lie to the police, but rather arrest him and then pay the police to treat him badly at the prison. So me lying to the police might bring a different issue.
I won't feel guilty at all because what he did was very wrong. But then again, I would speak to my daughter, get to know the genesis of the whole thing. How did it start? Why did she start doing it? For all you know, the man might have told her something, that if she doesn't do it, he will not take care of her or do something. So I won't really blame my daughter. And about the fact that I lied about her being raped, probably later I will go to the police and explain myself. Because for all you know, if I had told them that it was consensual, he'll be out maximum 1 month, come back and do it again.
If I'm to be the woman, I'll just leave the case as it is. Because one, apply to the police. And me telling them the truth could also lead me to another problem. So I'll just leave the case as it is and just let it go. The guilty conscience, let it be there. But for me to tell them the truth, no.
People, we are here live on TV3. This is Confessions. Yes, my lady, you had something?
Okay, Miss Nancy. I'm Sewa. You see, it's high time since parents talk to their daughters about sex. Good. Because in a typical Ghanaian home, sex is a forbidden thing in the house. You see, the girl went to her friends, and she even came to the diet with her friend for this threesome distance. So you see, the girl was taking advice outside. Mm-hmm. Yes. So you see, it's high time since parents sit their kids down, talk to them about sex, the implication of it, and how to go about everything. Thank you.
Listening to your friends, you need to check not just your children, but who they associate with.
Very important. Their friends. Where are you going? Who do you talk to? Just quiz the friend and see whether there is that maturity and the way you are training your child to be. Mm-hmm. Is it the same that is going, or it surpasses it?
Shouldn't we even know the children that our children are playing with?
Yes.
The values of the homes they come from.
We should know. And that is the work of every mother. And again, Ms. Nancy, let me say this. When they get to the teen age, just be with them on the same turf of theirs. Mm. Don't shout, don't yell, don't do those things, but let them realize that you're my sister.
Let us talk.
Let them realize that the secret that you don't want anybody to know, I'm the one to protect it for you. Get closer to me.
And let me know.
When you do that sort of thing, they will come to you.
Awesome.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you, Ms. Nancy. Thank you, Councillor. I think you've said
your name.
Elikem.
Hi, Elikem.
Yes, I think sometimes it's not just about discipline, but then you, the mother, you have to, have this daughter-mother relationship.
Yeah. Sure.
There should be that bond between you, the child. Don't just be like, okay, I'm a
disciplinarian, yes, be a friend.
Exactly.
Good. And then you justify everything you say yes or no to it. Exactly. You don't just say stop, then stop.
Let her know why.
Exactly.
That is a part of our parenting that is missing in our society.
Yes.
Because I'm the mother, I'm the father, I give instructions, I don't tell you why. Do not wear this blouse because it's so exposing. Somebody may think you are a woman and do woman things with you and to you.
Fantastic. Because when she wore it, she stood at the mirror, I'm pretty.
Yeah.
But you have added...
I'm looking like mommy.
Good.
I want to act like mommy.
Good.
Do things that mommy does.
Good. But did you add the risk of looking good? Let them know the consequences of you wanting to become beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Now, I will come back to you. But I asked the question, essential. Why did she lie on her husband? Why did she behave like this? Is it coming from a mother who is hurt because her daughter has been defiled? Or this is a woman, a jealous woman who feels that a man has hurt her feelings and he deserves more?
In the first place, trust was broken. Expectation quashed. Prior to my coming, when my previous husband died, I thought I found heavens. I didn't know you were the demon in my wardrobe. All right? So trust is gone, expectation is gone, and so now pain, hatred, anger sets in.
That's all.
Now, no matter what, you are my daughter. But this man, I will not
forgive him.
Yes.
My lady, you are still there in the confession booth.
Yes.
Why did you lie?
Miss Nancy, I was hurt. I felt betrayed. I felt my husband shouldn't have done what he did to my daughter, to our daughter. He went too far. I needed him to pay for what he did to me, to what he did to my daughter. That was why I had to lie. That was why I had to connive with my daughter to bring up such lie against my husband.
Are you speaking as a mother or you are speaking as a jealous lover?
As a mother, as a wife.
So the two characters together. My lady,
Miss Nancy.
Do you feel that it's time for him to come home, that he's paid enough?
Honestly, Miss Nancy, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should come clean or leave my husband to live the rest of his life in jail. Should I even go clean? Would my husband still love me? Would he come back to me? I'm confused. I need help. Please.
Oh, you sure do. And before we wrap up the show, I would give Counselor the opportunity to answer this question for you. What should she do going forward? But before you, Counselor, yes, my lady, in blue.
Thank you very much. The good book says that train up a child the way he should go. And when he's old, he would never depart from it. So you see, first of all, you, the mother, should be ashamed of yourself that one way or the other, you were not parenting her well. Now, to talk about the issue of when the husband comes back, what he's going to do, I think, Miss Nancy, it should be on record, and I must stand up to say that if an adult who is 18 years could do this, and in Ghana, if you're 18 years, I mean, you are old.
Yes.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
And so if the husband has been arrested, the girl should be arrested. The moment the husband sees that the girl is arrested, I think even when he's taken out of the prison, he will be okay. That at the end of the day, there was fair judgment. Thank you.
Because in this case, the 18-year-old was the one that testified.
Yeah.
So she also lied to the court of law,
Yes.
and she needs to take responsibility for her lies.
It's a real big thing. It's a real big thing. And she's seen the real end of it.
She will see the end of it. Yes, my lady?
The mother was a bit unfair, probably because of the anger she was feeling.
Yeah.
But the daughter should also have a bit of the blame, because for someone who could have 2 abortions, I mean, all this while, where was your mother? Couldn't you have consulted her?
After
That
the
means
first one.
everything she did, she was conscious of it. And even though she regretted it, I think she didn't really feel any consequence as compared to what the man is going through. So she should also have her fair share of it, because the man can't go to prison for 2 years.
Do not worry. Probably her karma bus is slowly approaching.
Exactly.
And that day when she finds love and she wants to have children, the karma bus would arrive at her doorstep. These things, I mean, you may be spared legally. But you never get it off.
It will hit back on you.
It will.
Yeah.
Yes, Counselor, we're wrapping up this conversation. She says she's confused. She doesn't know what to do. What do you suggest?
What I'll say, in your life growing, never act when you're hurt. Never act when you have been betrayed.
Yes.
Never act when you are in pain. And never act when you are angry. This has resulted in sending the husband to jail. What she ought to do is to be open. And just as confession we are on, confess to the husband.
And to the lawyers.
And to the lawyers and to whoever is within there, the known, that have lied. Now, this is what we did. I schemed up with my daughter because my expectation, I was betrayed, I was hurt, and that caused me to have done that.
Yeah.
Now, whilst you're going to go do this, you must be prepared for the consequences. Either your life will end there or it will continue. You should accept it. Don't think of you living again. So what will happen is that if you say that to the man, to the lawyers, they will then manage. Then a little bit of a toll of burden would be taken off from you. So right now, it's an open confession. Say the truth to those who matter.
And make sure that the man is taken out.
Good. And then let your daughter also face the consequence, just like Our Lady said. I mean, that is the order. Because 18, you know what you're doing. For all you know, you seduced this man for all these times. And now you sat, connived with your mother, and now I'm in jail. It's not the best though, but the mother must work. And be prepared for the consequences. Whether you live or you die, Just say it and be free.
In Akan, we say that Achia and Sumbuye. This is bending. It is not broken yet.
Yeah.
She can fix it.
Yeah.
She needs to speak to the right people and get the man out.
That's right.
2 years is enough punishment for what he's done. He has a lot to live with. The guilt, the stigma of having been in prison, and all of that. And even that, Karma's bass is also on its way to him and also to the daughter. People, this brings us to the end of another edition of Confessions. I'm delighted to have brought you this conversation. I hope that you have taken a thing or two from this conversation, and you will know that definitely what goes around comes around. I said that at Shia Nansu Emuye, things can still be fixed. Thank you for watching. Same time next week, I bring you another edition of Confessions. My name is Miss Nancy, and I love you.